What up with the wheelhouse, baby? Good morning. My name is Chris. This is Wheelhouse Trading, and welcome to the wheelhouse. All right, so I have been missing in action. I told you my last video, my girl got COVID. I would probably get it, and it might be my last video. Well, she did have COVID, and I did get it, but I didn't die, so I'm still here. It hit me pretty hard. I got the chills really bad. I put a blanket over me when I was down here working, and then I ended up going upstairs and laying down, and I slept for like 36 hours. It was crazy. And I'm a guy that doesn't sleep that much. I like to sleep, but I'm so programmed for waking up really early that even on the weekends when the stock market's closed, I still wake up very early. Plus, I have animals, dogs that want to go out and do their thing and have breakfast and stuff. So, anyways, I got those hot flashes and the chills, very extreme on both sides, and was very exhausted. Would feel okay when I was relaxing, sitting down or laying down, and then I would get up and I'd be exhausted. But I mean, it lasted a few days. It wasn't like anything really too bad. I feel a lot better today. But yeah, so another thing that I was, besides being sick, I also wanted to kind of dedicate some time to making some really good courses for the course members. And I'm so proud of all the Wheelhouse course members because, when most of these guys started, they started hungry and wanting to learn. And a lot of them had been they had done other courses and either maybe from like large websites or even other YouTubers or whatever it was. I mean, I remember one guy said he'd done like 6 different ones, they all learned so much from my courses. Regardless, I've looked at the portfolios, spent time with all the students, and figured out what the problems were and how we could figure out the solutions. Well, while I was doing that, then the market started to really tumble, and I noticed that I was the first person. I mean, I don't know anybody on YouTube or even on TV that was calling the top when I called it, and kept beating it. And I didn't want to be a bear. I'm a bullish person. I did not want to be a bear, but I'm going to call it like I see it. When it's super bullish, I'm going to call it like I see it. My last video, I said, hey, I want you to work on a watch list. I see something that is very good, and I see it on the leaders, and this is a good time we might see a turning point. Well, I didn't make a video for 3 days, and here we are. We've had 2 rallies since. I'm always a step ahead, and there's a reason why. It's because of the way that I look at the charts, okay? Most people are programmed to look at the news. That's why, like, some of the most famous investors that people follow, they don't actually follow the news. I don't know if you guys know that, but some of the biggest legends of Wall Street, they don't believe in following the news. Most people default to it because that's how we're programmed in humanity. But you can really see a lot in the charts, and it'll kind of take out a lot of the noise because price action and volume are really the 2 things that really tell you where the market lies. Now, the chart will never lie to you, but the media can embellish things or leave things out or make things extra noisy for distractions. That doesn't happen in charts, okay? It is 100% accurate. What the market thinks the value in the price is what the market thinks the value in the price is, no matter what the catalyst is, no matter what's going on in the world. So when you learn how to not put everything based off of news, not only does it help you mentally in your heart and whatnot, it also keeps you kind of focused on like what's really going on, and you learn to become a little bit less emotional about some of these positions. And it's actually a very difficult thing to do and to master. But once you master some of these techniques of not being so emotional and not being so reliant on news and not being so reliant on other people's opinions, and you start looking at the only news source that tells you the truth, which is the charts, you start doing better. Remember what I told you a while back? I said, at first, when you get in the market, you lose money. That's because you don't have a system and a process, and you don't know who you are yet. You don't know if you're a trader. You don't know if you're an investor. You don't know exactly what the system or process is. Well, after that, after you lose money, the next step is you lose less money. Okay, and the step after that is you break even. And the step after that is you make money. And the step after that is you crush the game. Okay? Well, the Jedis in the Discord started off losing money. Okay. Most people are down a lot of money. Most people, not just you, most people are. Now, what is different between what I do and what most people do? Well, most people, they invest like a mailman would invest, or like, Joe Sixpack would invest. Basically, hey, I'm a mailman. It's fine. I'm a school teacher. That's fine. I'm going to work here for 30 years. I'm going to retire. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the American dream. But I'm just going to put money in. Well, that's okay for that lifestyle. But when you want to make 120%, that lifestyle over there is going to take you 10 years to do what I did in 1 month. And the guys in the Jedi Discord, not only do they have the right type of diversification going on, they have the right type of sizing going on, they're hedging properly, they're riding momentum up and down, they're on the right time frame, they're going from negative 80 grand to even to up 50 grand. Some guys are up 300 grand. Yeah, short amount of time. I work fast. My people are starting to make money now because they're starting to listen, they're starting to ask the right questions, they're starting to follow my lead instead of trying to fight the system. Don't fight the consensus. Don't fight the trend. Don't fight the market. Don't fight the system. And don't fight your coach, because your coach has already done all the fighting for you. And now I'm here to teach you the ways of the Jedi. Today I made a course. I put it in there. It's a little bit more advanced. It's a pro level technique course. And when they're done this, they all get their lightsaber. But what they don't know is up the road, they're all going to get a chance to wield the dark saber. Yeah, so while I had COVID, I slept for 36 hours. I got a couple movies and shows in. I watched Dexter New Blood. I watched Book of Boba, of course. And I watched some crazy one. My girl had me watch called Yellow Jackets, which was weird. I watched Shadow and the Moon, Ray Donovan, the movie. I had a movie day yesterday. It was pretty cool. I asked my girl, when was the last time I sat down on a Saturday or Sunday and watched movies? And she said, it's been about 1.5 years, Chris. You're a workaholic. You're supposed to be relaxing. And that's why I'm successful. Successful people work harder and they try more. You can't put a guy like me in retirement. You just can't do it. When I read all these different books, I read a lot. And, I go through, I don't know how many books. I reread books a lot. I don't just read them once. Sometimes I read them 3-4 times. I don't know why. To commit to memory, or I like the book, whatever. But along a lot of the books, the authors, the different authors, there's always some point in each book, in some paragraph, where the author says the most successful investors or traders have this skill. And I notice when I go through all these books, it doesn't matter what the author is or what the context, I have those skills. Now, I'm finding that it is very rare for everybody to have all those skills. So when I make 120% in January, that's probably not something that's, easy to do for a lot of people. But let me explain the difference, okay? So back in September, back over when I said on this candle, hey, we need to get out, we need to move our money to cash, we need to get out of margin. And, people were still like, oh, the bears are doing that. Oh, I don't believe it. The market only goes up. Okay, I get it. The market will eventually always go up. Yes, it usually does, over time with patience, sure. But, I was like, hey, it's going to come down. You need to move the cash. Well, at that same time, large institutions moved $5 trillion to cash. They did the same thing that I was doing, okay? Then it started getting really, really, it was revolver, like a revolver market, like I talked about. It was, shotgun style, major prop trading, major trading. It was rotations within rotations, and I called it on YouTube, and I said that's what's going on, and I started doing that. See, one of the things that authors, continuously say is a successful investor or trader knows how to navigate a market and knows how to change strategies on a moment's notice. And we're going to talk more about that, but there's 6 different things that all the most successful and profitable traders have in common. There's 6 traits, and if you even have one of these traits, you can work on it, and you can be very successful. I have 4 of them. I don't have all 6, but 4 is a very, very high number apparently for this. So you want to be able to navigate. So if you have two ships, and I'm a captain of one, and there's a captain on the other one, and the captain, he knows how to read the compass. He knows that he's going, over to, Tortuga, we'll say. He knows to go on this heading. Doesn't matter if there's a storm coming or whatnot, and he's going to lose some soldiers. He's just going to barrel through that storm, and if people die, people meaning money, like lose money, he's just going to keep adding more people to the ship, knowing that he's going to have some loss along the way. Where me, I'm like, we better move to cash. We better get out of margin. We better think about navigating and protect our people, our money. We need to change our strategy. We need to go around the storm. We need to batten down the hatches. We need to prepare. We need to we've been through a storm like this. We don't want loss of life, loss of money. So you want to be able to transition quickly, and you don't want to have to figure out what the transitions are. You just want to know that when the market fits this parameter of volatility or bull run or topping or bubbling top or whatever the parameter of the environment is, that you have a play in your playbook. Just like a coach on a football field. You think a coach is like, hey, we're just going to win, but he doesn't have his plays ready. He knows that if the defense lines up this way, the offensive coordinator is going to be pivoting and moving his players this way so that he can actually break a hole in the offensive line and get that ball through if it's a running play. The coach, me, needs to have a lot of plays in the playbook to, win the game or navigate the seas, if you will. I mean, look, here's another example. Let's say there's one guy over here, okay? And let's say that's me, okay? And then there's another guy over here, okay? And this guy over here, he has been in the market for a long time. And he's stubborn, and he just will not change. He will not change no matter what. He says, I have 2 moves, and I have mastered those 2 moves. The first move is that I can put fuel in the gas tank. And I can just dollar cost average, and I can add good money to bad to my losing positions and just keep adding gas and adding gas and adding gas and keep buying the dip and dollar cost averaging. And I can just keep putting money in on those losing positions over and over and over. And the second move that he has is he can drive straight. Okay, so he can go long. He can only bet that the market goes up, and he can only add money to a losing position. He's the same guy that says you can't time the market. Well, let me just explain something to you very simply about timing the market that might help this guy, okay? Let's just go look at any stock. Let's go look at, okay, here's one. Let's go look at DraftKings. So DraftKings, okay. If you just buy here, and then you buy here, and 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 you do that through the whole thing, okay, that's like dollar cost averaging, and that's putting gas in the tank. And, eventually, this thing came way down, and people lost like 200% of their money. because that person only knew those two moves. He only knew to just keep adding gas to the tank, putting money behind a losing position, literally losing, like coming down like 200%, because it's down at $21 and it was all the way up at 74, so that's over 200%. Now, that guy says you can't time the market, right? Well, look, if you just simply put ribbons on your chart and you literally just bought right here when it was a blue ribbon and you sold right here, and then you rebought here and you sold here, and you rebought here and you sold here, and you were just waiting for it to go blue again, well, essentially you've taken out a ton of damage and you've timed the market with just a simple method. Now, are there way better methods? Yeah, there's a lot tighter methods, but you can time things better. And if you understand technical analysis and you understand that this was a primary trend and it broke a primary trend, but yet you're still in, well, you're kind of an idiot, right? Because you only know how to put gas in the tank and you only know how to go forward, even when the market's coming down. Now, the other guy with the driver's license, me, knows how to get out of the car. He knows how to put the gas in. He knows how to go forward, but he knows how to go in reverse. He knows how to off-road. He knows how to change direction. He knows how to put his foot on the gas. He knows how to pivot and do three-point turns. Less limited than the first guy, has more opportunity and more options to navigate the situation, whether he's going around the storm or trying to win the game as the coach. So you want to, like all those authors say, have multiple. The most successful investors over time have multiple strategies that fit different market environments. So when I saw on the indexes back in September, before everybody had figured it out that, hey, we're coming to a top. Now, I don't want to say everybody, because it was everybody on the news and it was everybody on YouTube, but it wasn't, the big, fund managers and CIOs. A lot of them started pulling money out quietly. It's called the distribution phase. And I was able to pick up on that because of my training. So I was able to move to cash, move to margin, move out of margin, warn you guys. And then when it started getting, these big trading firms were coming in and it was getting volatile and everybody was wondering what's going on, I said what was going on. And then I started trading. I switched my strategy for the market environment, therefore made 120% going up and down, going in reverse and pivoting and three-point turns and off-roading and listening to the market and adjusting with it. The guy that is only putting gas in the tank still and can only go long, well, he has a 10-year road ahead of him to maybe get to the 120% that I already achieved. Now, most likely that person will get there in 10 years by doing that method, because that is a method. It is a strategy, and it will work most of the time, not every time. There is risk involved no matter what, whether you're trading or you're dollar cost averaging and holding. There's risk no matter what. But there's a lot less risk if you work on your skill set and then you get in and out quickly and hold on to your money. I don't have to trade for the rest of the year. That's why I just took a week, 10 days off or whatever from making videos, and kind of did a little vacation and had a little construction done on the house and, some things like that. Plus I told you I had the COVID, but roll with the punches. You got to be flexible. When you're a Shaolin rooftop ninja warrior, you got to be flexible. You got to know not to overtrade. You got to know not to trade. You got to know to put your foot on the gas heavy when the moment is right. In 2020, we were in this magnificent bull run where the monetary supply expanded into trillions. $8 trillion was printed, and a lot of money went in the stock market. It was propped up. So in 2020, the playbook was buy great companies, leaders with thematic influences like ARK and Tesla being EV, ARK being innovation thematic, and running those. And I made a ton of money on ARK. I made a fortune on Tesla. I had Tesla. They announced the split. I had a lot of Apple. They announced the split. Those were two huge money makers for me. I also made a lot of money on Peloton. I also made a lot of money on Square. So yeah, I picked, it was a little bit different strategy. I wasn't trading. I was choosing really good companies in thematic that was benefiting from the monetary expansion, and they just had a lot of bullishness behind them. You know, Microsoft, PayPal, Square. There was a lot of companies, too many to talk about. But as an example, on the screen here, I pulled up Peloton, and again, with timing the market, you know, I had a different strategy than I have in 2022. Guys, we're in 2022. We're not in 2020. We have to adjust with the times. If you don't make the adjustments, you don't make the changes, you'll be left behind. Okay. You have to adapt in the markets. It's just something you have to do. You have to adapt. You know, sure, you can be like consistent and just like own AT&T and collect dividends. And there's a lot of ways. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. I'm just trying to give you some information that that if you open your mind up to being a little bit more flexible and open-minded and adapting different styles within market environments. And you know which style works with what market environment, like I do, you can be really successful at that. And, you know, like Peloton, you know, I don't own a Peloton, but I bought the stock and made a bunch of money and ran this whole thing up. But I got out, you know, because you saw this higher high and then a lower high. And when that lower high happened right there, I got out, you know. And look what happened after I was correct. And guess how much I was correct? 700%, 695% actually. It was $171.13 or 100, call it 171.29, 2460. If you divide 2460 into 171, you're going to find that it's dropped 695% of its value. So Square's the same thing. It was as high as 280, I believe. I don't know if I have it in here. Oh, there is Square. Okay, cool. So I think Square was at 280 at the high. Oh, 288.71. Okay, 288.71. And it's at 108.87. So let's just see how much that one has dropped. Now, I made a lot of money on this, you know, while it was going up because, you know, I knew to adjust my strategy and I timed the market using simple methods like these blue ribbons and got out when they turned red. I mean... Come on, guys. Remember, what you hear on the news, and even, you have to understand, the person that trained you, they might not have been that trained. Have you thought of that? They might not actually, like, know what time it is. There's a real good chance because certain secrets of Wall Street are supposed to be kept secrets. And they haven't even made it into the textbooks, guys. Okay, so... if you were just the guy putting the money in the gas tank and going long, which I like Square, but I mean I'm smart enough to know, you know, not to lose all my gains. And there's probably something I want to get into again, and a lot of these I want to get into: Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla, Home Depot keeps coming in my mind. Apple, if I didn't say it, but I definitely want to get like all those. I'm just waiting for the opportune time, and then I'll hold. But I'm waiting for, you know, the ribbons to go red, the purple to flat, the accumulation to start, the trend reversal to begin. Like, you know, it's a certain way to do it, you know, and not rush into it buying the dip. Let the charts, remember, the chart bottoms and tops are a process. They're going to take time to develop and process the bottom and process the top, you know. So, you know, Square's come down 265%. So, yeah, you want to adjust your strategy. Same thing with that DraftKings. You know, it's one of my biggest money makers of 2020. I think even some into 2021. But I hit this thing. I mean, I hit this thing like boom, and I get out over here on the tops, and then I get back in, and I just keep getting out at the top. I kind of swing it. That's how I do it. And I skip all this. I didn't do any shorting on that. Now I see some positivity on DraftKings, and we'll see where this goes. But it's kind of climbing this new little thing, and I'm interested. And there's earnings coming, but I'm gonna wait for the charts to tell me the news. Like I said at the beginning of this video. Right now, I understand classic trading and classic chart patterns and technical analysis, but right now I'm doing what's called momentum trading. You know, it's a different style of trading. and you just change your style with the market environment. And I just know all these styles because I've been doing this a long time. And it's what makes successful investors and traders successful over time. If you are just that guy that puts gas in the tank and goes long, well, eventually you'll probably be okay, unless you're holding things like NEO or XPeng or JEDI or Baidu, because then you don't know if those ones are going to be successful 10 years up the road, or if there's going to be some sort of regulation. Now, I'm not saying, because I don't know, that's what I'm saying is I don't know, and neither does that person. You don't know if those Chinese companies 10 years up the road, if you're just putting gas in the tank or you're just going long, are going to be okay in the US stock market, if you're going to win or lose money. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows. It could be amazing, but it could also be devastating. And that's just the way that's just the risk. And there's risk in all strategies, there's risk in all methods, but it's very risky when there's unknowns of stagflation, and there's unknowns of recessions, and there's unknowns of a food crisis, which, by the way, isn't even on television yet. There's things that are not on the news that we need to be worried about, like the supply chain stuff out of Russia with fertilizers for our food. We might have a major supply shortage on food, and the media doesn't want to talk about that right now because it could create riots and panic in the grocery stores. And that's actually happening right now. And they haven't notified people on the news. They're actually like, shh, hush, hush, not talking about it. This stagflation thing really worries me with all the wage increases going on. Like, okay. They're saying, hey, we got 467 new jobs, which was an incredible surprise, beat. They're saying that on the jobs report, but what they're not saying is that there's 16 million workers needed to fill all the seats of all the employers, okay? 16 million. 16 million, okay? So like I had said in my previous video, J-Powell says the economy is strong, but where's all the freaking workers? I mean, my friend that works at a casino, everybody gets COVID. The manager can't hire any new people. There's no chip runners. There's no bartenders. There's no servers. You know, my buddy Ryan that's got the epoxy company, epoxy flooring company, he almost lost his business because he couldn't get employees. My other buddy that owns a huge whole house fan company that is distributed by Lowe's and Home Depot and other people, other companies like that, he's struggling on getting people to do the construction and all kinds of departments. It's a large company. My other buddy Derek that has a technology company, he's got thousands of people that he can't fill jobs for. So, you know, yeah, we had a big jobs number, and that's exciting because it leads us to believe that the economy is strong. But if there's wage increases and companies cannot get employees in there unless they pay more, and then they come out on their earnings reports like Starbucks and Amazon did and say, hey, we're raising Amazon Prime from 120 to 180 a year, or Starbucks is going to raise the prices on their products because the wage increase. Well, now you have higher wages, you have higher prices, which is more inflation. You still have supply shortages. You have increased inflation with wage increases and possibly a slowing economy because there's still 16 million jobs. We are running the risk of not only a recession, but stagflation. Now, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I'm smart enough to know that, you know, I don't need to overtrade, and that I'm already up a lot of money, and that I can just kind of sit tight and just see what happens. I have the skills to get in and get out. I have the skills to know how to get in and ride it for a long, long time too. Which I would prefer to do that, but I need the market to tell me that's what we're doing. I can't just be the guy that puts gas in the tank and goes straight when the market's saying, no. If you go straight, you're going through a tornado, because that's what the market's been saying. Like, if you just put gas in the tank and you go straight, you're about to hit a tornado and you might get ripped to pieces, and your whole portfolio and everything that you've saved up for and done could go to hell, which I'm sure a lot of people are realizing that, or maybe they're just too stubborn to realize it. But I'll tell you what, those Jedis in the Discord are starting to freaking understand, and they're starting to make money, and they're becoming kind of little badasses. I will say, not only do they know chart skills, but they're starting to just use the most powerful thing that you could ever use, and that's common sense. I mean, there's some common sense that you got to understand in the markets. And if the market's telling you got a tornado coming, you don't want to just go straight. You want to actually go reverse, and you want to put your foot on the gas, and that's why I made a lot of money. I was able to just ride that huge momentum and volatility down, and then get out. And when it was going up, I rode that up, and I think we got kind of like a little W thing coming. So okay, so I think that we are doing this. We're going to have a little rally like this, and then we're going to come back and retest the lows. That's one thing that could happen. If you recall, that happened over here. See how it came down? Kind of like it came down here. And then it rallied up. And it's starting a rally. It might rally up even to here, get rejected. And then maybe come down. And then, maybe it'll come back down and retest. Maybe a little bit higher. Maybe it'll be this one. And then off we go. Or maybe it's like this one. It comes down, down, rally attempt, down, maybe a little higher again, and off we go. So these things are common, and like I explained in the last video, typically from the time it gets down to here to the time it gets to the blue candles is about 45 days, a month and a half. And these, on average, are, like, call it 4 months, 3 to 5 months, but, 3 and 4 is pretty common. And if you go back through the videos, you'll realize these yellow lines are the secondary trend against the primary. The primary is the most important trend, and the primary is the most important trend, and right now the primary trend is actually in a downtrend, okay? And if you recall the distribution, notice how I said this was flattening and will probably come down. Look, it's starting to come down now. Still have red ribbons, still have red clouds. Now, I'm excited, and I made a ton of money on longs. Now, I told you guys that I wish that I didn't have to trade so heavily. The reason I'm doing it is because I know how, okay? I would rather swing trade and be working off fundamentals. And guess what? We might be coming to that moment. But I am not ready to be buying calls. I am not ready to be, doing classic stops and doing everything fundamentally, because I want to see where this correction goes. I want to see the direction. And until we have a confirmed uptrend and we have broken one of these highs, these swing lows or swing highs for a trend reversal, I cannot technically be convinced that we are in an uptrend when everything tells me that we're still in a downtrend. Now, what does it take to come out of a downtrend? Okay, it's going to take retail investors to buy calls. It's going to take money managers and investors to buy to hold. It's going to take value investors to feel that the price is low enough that they can stabilize the sectors and industry groups. And then it's going to take traders to amplify it with the volume and expand the volume within the sectors and industry groups all at the same time, which will create momentum. And momentum is what gets the party started. That's what needs to happen. And it doesn't have to be in that order, but it all has to happen. And while it's happening, it's going to create enough momentum to create a trend reversal and a new direction. So it'll be something of this nature. You'll be heading on up, and you're looking to make a higher high. But we're far away from that right now. So I don't know if this thing is just going to do a teaser and then come down and then do a teaser and come. I don't know. Maybe it's just going to rally up and do this, I just don't know. But that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter. When you're a directional trader or a momentum-based trader, you ride the momentum and you follow the direction and you listen to the market. And when you do that, you become more successful, like my Jedis. My Jedis are making money now, okay? I'm doing sick courses for people. I'm helping them out. I'm coaching them. They're learning so much. Actually, one gal tonight messaged me and she said, I think I finally figured it out. I'm making money. if I do A, B, and C, and I said bingo, that's what I've kind of been trying to say, but she literally relayed it back to me, and she's got it like in her head. She has it figured out now, and now she's doing good. I have another guy. He signed up, and he hit me up. I don't know if I told you this. I can't remember if he hit me up the last time I did a video or after, but really cool guy. And he said, "Thank you for showing me how to do this one technique. I actually made enough money today to pay for your courses for a whole year." And he had just signed up. So that was cool. All of them are doing really, really good. And you guys can just come into the Discord for free, and I'll help you. And everybody in there is helpful as well. And you can join the JEDI Compound Challenge. And you can watch some of my trades in there. You can watch some of my trades in there. You won't get all the alerts. You won't get any crypto alerts. You won't get any aftermarket or pre-market alerts. And you won't get specifics. But you can watch my trades, and you can see some stuff, and you can kind of compete, or you can be part of it, or you can test strategies, whatever it is that you want to do. Hopefully testing the strategies is the whole point of it. And just be part of the community and come in and hang out. The Discord link is in the description below. So I don't know if we had a follow-through day. Again, just too early to tell. I mean, I think all the indexes are still... that volume that came in at the end really looked nice, though. And I am seeing a lot of bullish factors on the indicators, which will show first. So that's very positive. I mean, like I said, just ride the momentum up. I mean, there could be, 200-300 grand made in this point, and 300-400 grand made in this point, and $1.5 million made in this point. I mean, just ride it directionally. Why go up 300 to lose 400, to go up 200 to lose 400, to go up, 800 to break even? Like, whoa, like why? Just go with it directionally and listen to the market. And when you master that skill, you really start making money. You really can start making serious money. I know it's not, okay, what did this girl say to me today? She said, "Chris, out of every system I've ever tried, yours, it's so simple, but it is the most efficient and the most profitable." Boom. That's what she said. And I'm pretty much sure, almost positive I got it word for word. It's pretty darn close to the quote that she wrote me. So, I mean, yeah. And you know what I wrote her back? Yeah, I would agree. It's not about being complicated. It's about being efficient and profitable. Doesn't matter how complicated it is. It matters if it works and it makes you money. And the system that I have works and makes you money, period. That's the deal. Maybe I can show you some of the trades. I'd have to upload it from my phone, but maybe I can just show you how 7 to 8 of them are green out of every 10, and maybe kind of give you a little insight on that when I edit this video. So let's see. Oh yeah, another thing. Back to have we hit a bottom? So when Amazon and Apple had their earnings, not this last time, but the previous time, they had missed, and so did PayPal. And I immediately came out, and nobody caught it. Nobody caught it on the news. Nobody caught it on YouTube. And I immediately caught it and said, that is the very first warning shot for what could happen a year and a half up the road. When the big ones start missing, that's when the trouble started. That's when it started getting shaky, okay? Because big investors and institutions, they know that everything is going to come down to earnings. And if the big boys that are holding up the indexes start to fail, well, we all come falling down, right? So that was the first shot. So then why we're getting momentum here, it's because the big ones, the Apples, the Microsofts, the Teslas, they just had really good, outstanding, phenomenal, extraordinary earnings. God bless them all. And that is what is giving consumer confidence and sentiment and raising the consensus. We're in a moment of indecision, but we're leaning towards bearish for sure. I mean, there's, I got people asking me, should I buy this? Should I buy that? Dude, day trade it, make money. I mean, But once we have a confirmed uptrend, then yeah, load the boat on those and go in that direction. It's just, you don't want to be that guy that can only put gas in the tank and only go forward. I mean, that's that all you're doing is hurting yourself. That's all you're doing. You want to have all kinds of skills to pivot around the market, no matter what the market environment is. I was successful in this hellish market because A, I can read charts well and I could spot the tops. B, I knew how to identify the problems and use all my training and shift and change my system and hone it down to a particular type of system that works in this kind of market. Now, as the market changes, I'm gonna adjust my system, because not all markets are cut from the same cloth, and not all systems need to be used the same in all market environments. So when the market changes, it's probably going to be a lot easier than it just was, number one. And number two, believe me, I will crush the game in that market too. And the reason I'm confident is because if I just made 120% in one of the toughest markets I've ever experienced, well, just do the math and think about what it is that you think I could do in a market that is half as difficult as the one I just went through, using the systems that I love to use, with good fundamentals and earnings accelerations and leaders and the right sectors and classic stops. And I mean, you're going to hit those 300, 400, 500 percenters doing that. Right now, I'm in and out, making good money, really big money, but I'm working really hard too. I'm working hard. I'm trading a lot. I think I looked at my trades. I'm at 1,550 trades in January. That's a lot of work. It's worth it though. 120% is pretty sick. So, yeah. Let's see if there's anything else to talk about. Last thing. I re-entered Bitcoin. I wanted to have three things happen, three conditions happen. I went over it in the group. I actually made a video on it on YouTube as well. And all three things happened. And I bought Bitcoin, and it is currently up like $2,500 already. So yeah, we'll just see where it goes, but it looks like we're trending in the right direction on Bitcoin, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think it's going to take a little time, but I do think that we are heading up, and we're just going to be heading up nice and slow, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with going slow. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I appreciate you watching. Sorry I didn't make a video for a few days. Jump in the Discord. Let me help you. I'm here to help you guys, okay? And I'll teach you a lot of stuff. I'll teach you how to really make money in the markets and get through all this, different, difficult and crazy market environments, and really, really help you guys out. I mean, I think my track record shows that I can do it. And if you talk to all the people in the Discord, they're gonna tell you the same thing. They're gonna tell you. I mean, I had a guy today. He hit me up. Here's another story. I had a guy. He hit me up today. He goes, "Hey Chris, I had a problem with one of my American Express, and that's what was connected to your subscription. How do I resubscribe, because I've learned so much in your course, even though I don't have a lot of time to trade during the day because I'm an engineer or something like that." And I explained it to him, but I mean, these guys are learning is the point, and they're learning a lot, and they're learning the right way. There's this guy over here, and that is a way, but that is a limited way. Then there's this guy over here that has these things plus 50, 60, 70 more, so that you can adapt like a chameleon to any market environment and be profitable. Now this guy does it the way that the most profitable traders in the world do it. This guy does it the way that the world champion traders do it. And this guy does it the way that the mailman and Joe Sixpack does it. So, who are you? Do you want to be the guy doing it the way the world champions do it and profit? Or do you want to do it the way where you got to go work 2 jobs and it takes 10 years to get there? You decide. My name is Chris. Welcome to the Wheelhouse.